discussion for the Elder Scrolls Online. This is something I've been discussing in my stream recently, and it's a way that I believe we can fix the Elder Scrolls community, the game itself, instantly, at no cost to ZeniMax, no cost to any of us. And to be honest, it's just a full round community improvement with absolutely no loss in any form or sense. And to be honest, if there's any ZeniMax staff watching this video, I know there's a couple sometimes do, I am going to state outright right now that I would be happy to run this. So just keep that in mind. If you want me to run this sort of stuff, it's there. And my suggestion to fix this entire game is something called a polling system. So what the polling system would entail, right? If there is a patch that ZeniMax believe is possible to introduce to the game, their way of introducing that to the game is this simple. They just say, okay, we think that we can make a patch that allows a single auction house. This is the example I used yesterday off recording. We think, as an example, that we could actually make an auction house, a single auction house, rather than the current trading system. But the question is, you're deciding whether you want to make that poll yes or no. You're deciding whether the community wants it, yes or no, etc., etc. Other games have done it, exactly. Someone in the chat saying that, Arrow Rain saying, other games have done it. It does make a big difference. You're saying that right now. Other people, do they want this patch or not? Because we know we can do a patch. Why am I just going to patch it if I don't think people want it? In the end, as a business decision from ZeniMax's point of view, it is best to do what the majority of the community wants. But we have to consider how often they're actually able to do that. They don't know our opinion. So what I'm suggesting is that they introduce a polling system that's happened in other games such as RuneScape that literally allows them to put a poll out to the community where we say yes or no to a patch. Now, we talked a lot about whether it should be a multiple choice question or a yes or a no. There were positives and negatives to both. So if we do a yes/no question, it means that we can get a set amount that counts as a majority, so a set percentage of votes that counts as a majority to let a patch go through. If the majority doesn't go through, we don't put the patch through, so be it. If the majority does go through, we do. They spent no money. I should point this out, by the way. They do not spend money on a patch until they've decided that it's worth it. So they think this is something we can do. They've spent no money developing it at all. They think it's something they can do. They want to see if we actually want it, because that is what makes it worthwhile for them as a business to do, and for us as a community, that we actually want that patch in the game. The thing is, yes or no, like UK Pirate, excellent mod there saying, it gives us a solid answer of whether we do it. Now, what you would have to do if you did a yes or no is maybe have a couple of questions. So if I was to say, would you like an auction house to replace the current system of traders? We're actually going to make this. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make a straw poll. We're going to post it in my chat here. So let me quickly load a straw poll. I think it's strawpoll.me, right? Something like that. So, would you like a single, easy access auction house to replace the current trader system? Question mark. Then you just have the answers yes, no, and you do this for every patch that they think they could suggest. I do create poll. Obviously, they could do it in a fancier way than this if they wanted, but in the end, you could do it easily with straw poll. They're going to stick it on results, and I'm going to link it to the chat. And my chat is going to tell you what they want. It is that. Wait, we need to go and vote, just so I can link it. Okay, so we're going to stick it in the chat, and we see what people vote. Guys, if you could all vote on this for the sake of this, please vote yes or no to whether you want that patch, and we can see if that's something that should come out. And then we're going to do it for something more obvious, like patches that have ever happened. So let's see what we get. Something else we discussed whilst this is ticking is what a majority should actually count as. The more votes we get, the better, guys. If you can help with the voting, please do. We discussed quite a lot on stream what should count as a majority. I'll actually do that on stream so people can see what they think a majority should count. But let's see what we get here. So right now you can see it's somewhere around 75–80% are voting yes to a single auction house system to replace the current traders. Alright? So right there you can see the majority of the community would prefer that as a big example. What I'm going to do in the chat right now is just quickly say, so guys in the chat, can I link it again? Of course I can. A couple more people want to vote. But to be honest, it doesn't matter. We've got enough votes there to see anyway. So, here's what I'm going to say now to the chat. We're going to see that on the right-hand side, as you can see. Now, I minimize the straw poll. What do you believe a majority vote should count as? So, let's imagine you've got the whole community. Let's imagine the community is 100,000. Of those, we can probably suggest that maybe 10,000, 20,000 would actually vote, yeah? Let's see what a majority should count as. So, put a number between 0 and 100% of those votes that should count. Let's see what we get in the chat. And we'll see what the average are to see what actually should matter. Starting to get some votes now. We've got a 60, a 70, a 70. More votes the better, guys. Please put as many numbers in as you can, what you believe is the best. 65, 70, 70, 76, 70, 65 to 70, 70. So quite quickly there, you can see somewhere between 60 and 70 should count as a majority. When we did yesterday, it seemed about 70. There were some said 65, there were some said 80. I would say that majority of people would say about 70% counts a majority vote. So right there, you can see on this poll, 77 have voted yes, it should go through. So now we're going to do a different straw poll, just for the sake of having it as another example. I have to quickly reload this. And this time we're going to do it for something that's happening in the next patch. So we're going to say... we're going to imagine before they release this patch, should we introduce... no, what can we do? Should we... I'm trying to think of something that's a little competitive. Any decent suggestions in the chat, by the way, guys, feel free to chuck them out. I'm thinking of something that's really currently related that they're doing that I kind of think is going to be voted against by the community. What could we have? Yeah, true. 66 would be a two-third majority. That's a decent shout. Dueling, yeah. Here was another one we did. So this is something that would be very easy to introduce. So should we introduce group versus group dueling with the new dueling system? This is something that would be so easy to do because they would just allow groups to accept it. I think it's that simple. Obviously on their end, they know the development sense. I don't know that. They would only poll it if they think it's a good idea. But my suggestion isn't any of these patches, it's the polling system itself. So let's do create poll. We're going to post that to chat and we'll see what people think. So vote yes or no, and we're going to see if this is something the community actually wants. Buy on pickup, great shout. I'll do that one next. We'll do that as the last example. That's a brilliant example. I'll load that up whilst we see the votes. Actually, I should go on the results here. I'll load another tab up as we do that. We'll get that one going. We'll get that as another question. So please vote in that again, guys. One more vote after that. And right now, you can see very huge majority is saying allow group versus group dueling. It is something that the community wants. I'm sure they can do it on their end at very little expense, especially with the current system. They should put it forwards. Again, make this clarified. This is not me suggesting these patches. They can suggest only what they think they can actually theoretically do at a good profitable price for them. But they want to do things as a business decision that benefits the community. So I'm saying that they should make a polling system to the community for every patch that they want to suggest to see if people want the patch. So we're going to do one more question here. That this is something that people have commented about a lot in the next patch. And this is something that they've decided to do against everyone's opinions. No one's been able to vote on it. Let's see what the answer is. So should we make loots in the next patch bind on pickup only? Yes and no. We're going to do create a poll. I'm going to post this one to my chat. So this is something they're introducing in the patch next coming. And let's see what we get. This will be the final vote, guys, and then I'm going to go into a few discussions here about issues. Yeah, okay, someone here's comment. Flippity's saying they've done polls. It's pretty clear this is irrelevant to the development process. What I'm saying is not that they do the development process and then say, fuck it, we've polled it, but we've already made it, we've spent millions on it. I'm saying they poll it before they ever spend any money on it. They just poll ideas, not concepts that are fully made. Because if you're polling an idea, it's cost them nothing to do. So let's see what we get on this. Right now, okay, this is something that in the next patch they are introducing, making loots from dungeons bind on pickup only. You can see instantly there, the community does not want it. It is a business poor decision from their end. Now, I'm not blaming zenimax for that. I'm saying that they should introduce a polling system to allow the development to ensure that sort of stuff happens. So what I'm going to do at this point, guys, if you have any questions, fire them away in the chat. I may have missed some whilst I was discussing that stuff, but I'm going to go in a few more issues whilst we have that open. We're going to go back in the chat so I can read the comments here. So, here's a couple of issues we have. First of all, you can't do this for everything. If I was to poll about a single class or a single skill, you're going to get biased. So you have to avoid those sort of questions. Because if I'm to poll, say, should Stam Nightblades get a double damage buff? Which is obviously a bollocks concept, but every Stam Nightblade in their right mind is going to say, oh yeah, sounds fucking good to me, doesn't it? I'm going to have double the damage, perfect. Every other class is going to vote no, but it's a biased thing. Same for a nerf. What if we say, Mage Templars right now are super strong, right? What if I say, I make a poll saying Purify should be reduced in the amount of purifiers you could have, or purifier should gain a cooldown, or cloak should gain a cooldown. Everyone in those classes, if I'm a Templar and you say nerf purify, I'm going to say fuck off. If I'm a Templar, if I'm anything but a Templar and I say nerf purify, it's not going to get nerfed. It's certainly getting nerfed, isn't it? Because I don't want that shit, right? Yeah, Radiant Destruction again. Should we buff Radiant Destruction by 100%? Templars, everyone's going to say yes. Everyone else is going to say no. So there is biasty, okay? There is a huge amount of biasty in there. That's why you cannot poll class individual skills, etc., etc. You've got to poll things that are generically inherent to all the game. So we're talking about things like, here's another good straw poll I can make, because this is something completely separate. We've done Auction House, which is something that would benefit PvPers and PvEers. We've done that sort of stuff. Here's something that's completely separate from the game, and I want you guys to take this seriously, because obviously, if they were to introduce a polling system to the game, right, then I would say that they should make it so that they're trying to ensure it's things that people actually want and not have bias in. When they do that, YouTubers like myself, Cypher, Fenglish, all the bigger YouTubers are always going to make a video about that, saying they should take things seriously. So we're going to do a really weird example here. Should we make changes to enhance role-playing experiences? And I'm going to poll this twice. The first time I'm going to poll it without a YouTube video. Oh shit. I'm going to say yes. So guys, I want you to vote. Should they enhance a role-playing experience? Yes or no? Let's see what we get on the vote. I'm expecting something here. We'll see what happens. Mention that people have to play a certain time to vote. True, that's something else I did mention yesterday. Well said, SNM. They should make it so that there is a set time on votes, okay? If they make it so that every new player in the world can vote, you're going to get people, especially if it's affecting gold or that sort of stuff, that are going to make multiple accounts to vote, etc. Or they're going to make things like that. So Zeus wants to make people that want PvE to do PvE content gear, but you can't sell PvE gear. Yeah, well said. So we're going to see what we get on here. Should they enhance role-playing experiences? We're going to go on the results here. So please vote, guys. Wait, I'm a retard. I didn't link it. I'm sorry. I understand why no one's voting now. We're being a little special moment here. Let me link it. So let's see what we get on this. So this is something that's completely oblivious to 90% of my stream, because I'm primarily a PvPer with some PvEer. Sorry guys, I forgot to link it there. But yeah, what I was saying is we should set a set time. So I'll go into a question about that in a sec. We should set a set time as a minimum. So let's see. Should we get changes to enhance role-playing experiences in the game? We're just going to let that vote tick a little bit. Once you've voted, guys, on that one, there's 190. So if we can get the maximum votes, try to get 150, something like that. Here's the next question. How many weeks, months, days, years do you think, seriously, because this is a serious thing that could generally happen in the game if they watch this video, because it makes no sense to them, how long do we think that they should make it a minimum for people to be able to vote? So let's have a look right now. It's very tight, you see. Please keep some more votes coming, because it's very borderline as to whether it would go through. How many months, let's say months, I think months is the best way to go, would you say that it has to be till someone could actually be allowed to vote? Let's see what we get in the chat. So right now, by the way, now that the vote's gone in, you can see something here. We get 67 and 33. That means it's not a majority if we're going by 70, which means no matter how close it is, that would not pass. I'm now going to do exactly the same straw poll, except this time I'm going to make a YouTube video about it to show how that can affect decisions. And it will always affect it for the best, because it's always going to affect it for the community. So, exactly the same question, and please vote seriously, guys. Should we enhance the role-playing experiences of the community? Should we allow changes, wasn't it? Yes and no. Let's see what we got in the chat about the months. Right now we're seeing a lot of 4 months. 4 months, a couple of people saying 1, couple of 2s. I would say looking at about 3 months as the average. So I would say going 3 months about the average. So if they're going to introduce this patch, right now you can see a majority of the community is 3 months to do this. Yes to polling. We'll do that again in a sec. So should we allow change to enhance the role-playing communities again? I'm going to create the poll, and I'm going to make a YouTube video. I'm not actually going to record anything. I'm just going to say what I'd say in my YouTube video. So right now, I'm going to do an intro. So I'd be like, hello guys, welcome. We have received a new poll, as you can see in the description. This poll introduces a lot of changes to PvP, PvE, and it's also got some side things such as role-playing. Now, obviously, you guys should vote what your opinion is for this sort of patches. I'd then discuss each palette individually, and then I come to this one. I'd be like, Okay, so we got a discussion here about should Beam be buffed. I'm going to vote no, that's a shit decision. Should this, should this, should this. And then I'm going to read this. Should we allow changes to enhance role-playing experiences of the community? And then what I would say in my video at this point is, now, guys, I want you to vote seriously for this. Does this really affect us? I think people in the role-playing community would like it. As a PvEer and a PvPer, I genuinely don't think that it really changes anything for us. I think it's going to benefit people. I think people are going to enjoy the game more. So I'm going to vote yes. Because honestly, is there any point in us voting no to this if it is giving a chance to people who otherwise can't roleplay? They don't like PvE, they don't like PvP. It doesn't really affect us at all. I'm now going to give you a link again. There you go, there's your link. And let's see what we get. Well, I accidentally stopped my own video there, my apologies. Otherwise, mute that. So let's see what we get in the chat here. And now we're going to see the results again. So please vote in that one, guys. That'll be the last one we do vote. Let's see what happens to this. And you see right now, look at those votes. Instantly, you can see mathematically the influence of the YouTubers has a big effect on this for the best. Now, there may be some changes to PvP that could be heavily influenced by more PvPers, but in the end, that's best for the community. PvPers want changes to PvP. PvEers want changes to PvE. People on the PvP community, I'm not going to vote against something just because it has no effect on me. You can see people have just realized, hang on, this actually doesn't matter that much to me. Why don't I vote yes? It's going to help someone in the game. May as well vote for it. It makes sense, right? They could create a new forum. So I'm going to ask 2 more questions to the chat. I want as many people to vote as possible because this is 2 big things. So first of all, before we end this video, is this question. Where should they introduce this? They could either introduce it on the forum / a separate website, something like that. Or should they introduce it in-game as like a separate icon on the top with your map, your skills, etc.? Where should it be, please, chat? Let's see what we get here. Giving it a second here to load. Obviously, there's a small delay on my stream. We're going to see as many votes as possible, guys. If you haven't voted yet, please say, would you prefer to see a polling system in-game? Or would you prefer to see a polling system on the forums? More people, the better list looks, guys. This is something that can make a huge change to the game, okay? Just wake up. What's this discussion? This is about introducing a polling system to the game. Yes or no? So right now you can see a lot of in-games. There's one person saying forums, but a huge amount of people are saying in-game. Like the new stuff in the Crown Shop. Exactly. Just make a new icon. Bam. Done. So final question, guys, before I end this video for some questions. If you want to type any questions, type it as you type this next answer, because obviously the delay of my stream will compensate. But here's the question. For you guys, dead serious, would you like to see a polling system as the community of Elder Scrolls to decide whether patches actually happen? Note that they're only going to poll things that they think they can actually make and have spent nothing beforehand. Would you like to see a polling system to decide whether you like future patches to be released or not? Yes or no, please. We'll see what we get in the chat. Again, there is a small delay. You want my babies? I'm a taken man. Babies have never been my sort of thing. As many replies as we can get, please stream. More people, the more conviction we're going to get. I'm not seeing a single yes. We got yes, 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 yes. So much yes. Yes, absolutely yes, 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 yes. There's not a single no in there, boys. Do anyone have any questions about this? If anyone says no, do you have any questions and issues to discuss about this? Because I think it is something that can make a huge change to the game. Luke Smith saying no. Do you have something you'd like to change in it? And do anyone else have any suggestions about how they should implement it? So things that I failed to mention here. UK Pirate summed it up very well there. It would give us and them a genuine opinion of the community and what we think is most important. They've spent nothing on a patch, but it's going to do it. Do a Mickey Mouse impression. I don't even know what Mickey Mouse sounds like. So what are we seeing, guys? Do anyone have any comments that you would like implemented in that? Because there's one more discussion to have, and then we're going to go back into some PvP naturally. Looks like there's no questions, but they may come in a little bit. Okay, so next thing. Here's another thing that they can make a huge change to the game with that takes no effort again, and that is a moderator system for the forum and the in-game system. So what a moderator system entails is basically it's someone with mildly more power than a normal person. They'd be selected by Zenimax himself very carefully. They have to decide who will be in their benefit and the community benefit for the whole game to allow its growth, okay? 90% don't get an invite code for the forum. Yeah, exactly. That's why the in-game is better. I agree. pull the pop-ups up on the character selection screen. You don't really want to pop it up there because that's going to be spammy. So here's the next thing. Moderator system for the forum and the in-game. So again, I want to see a yes/no after I've explained it, please. Should they introduce a moderator system to the forums and in-game? Firstly, in-game to allow some sort of censoring to very big issues, so someone you could mute. Again, they'd select very carefully who got this. If you do not mod a lot of people, even if the community is 1 million, you may only have 10, 20 mods around. But those people on the forums and in-game will have a faster contact or even a direct or semi-direct contact with ZeniMax staff that's fast forwarded, so that if we see good ideas as a moderator in the forums or in-game that we think could go forwards, we poll it to that ZeniMax guy, we give him a link to that forum link or in-game comment as a screenshot, and they will decide whether they think it's a good idea based on how many people as a moderator are forwarding it. If they go, okay, 20 people from the moderator put this through, they can think, okay, maybe I should poll this idea. So yes or no to an in-game and forum moderator system, guys. If Zeus actually wanted to get good feedback from the polls, they should give a minor incentive to fill out the polls, like 100 crowns per survey. Yeah, that's a decent idea. They could just give 10, even 100 crowns, some tiny amount, like 50p. It's going to be a really good way of getting answers, and it will affect the community. So let's see yes or no to the moderator system, guys. Please, as many votes as possible. We need to make this convincing to a yes or a no. We got a yes, 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 yes. What the fuck, where's my invite? I missed that one. Yes, 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 yes. Again, it's something that's looking like a huge majority. So here in summary, guys, the community right now has said that a moderator system will benefit the game, and they have said that a polling system would benefit the game. If anyone has any questions about those things, I'm going to leave it open for like 2 minutes whilst we're on cooldown. Comments about how we should do stuff to do with the moderator system and or the polling system, okay? Could be a nice link between support and a normal player. Exactly, well said, Liz. So do anyone have any questions, comments, or other things that should be kind of introduced with this system? I'm not talking about a patch. It's dead up to them what they actually poll. If they have an idea that could be a good thing for the community, they poll it, see if we actually want it, before they ever develop it. That's how it should be done. They could give some dies. Yeah, that's a good idea. Something that doesn't cost them anything. Something easy like a die, a couple of crowns. It'd be a real link between community and the Zeus, and it's something that doesn't take them any work, right? Here's the point. We do the work. Like I've said, for the polling system itself, if they give me the rights to do that, I am dead happy to do that myself. I don't give a shit. Not a problem. Easy work, and the community wants it. So guys, it doesn't look like we're getting any questions. The only problem is there will always be a what the fuck, I am not a mod. There is some aggro for that, but it also promotes people to act better on themselves. It promotes people to act good for the community. The reason it would make them good for the community is people will kind of set it as a goal to get their moderator. They would select it very carefully. People who have helped the community, been polite, etc., 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 over years, not a couple of days. They should offer topics to vote on. It's easy to oversee all consequences of the game. Otherwise, people might vote on changes that turn out to be something they don't want. Of course, Karis, I'm just putting quite short questions. They could expand it a lot and put some summaries and things about it. A mod for every class and one for PvE and PvP. I don't think they should do that. It creates some biasty. I just think they should get a good collection of mods. And we're not talking big YouTubers, streamers, etc. We're talking about people who are genuinely doing their work for community in all communities, etc. So it looks like I've covered everything in this video. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to go back into some PvP. It looks like we're bombing in at the moment because the Zerg side is huge. But right now, ZeniMax, if you're watching this video, you can see people want a polling system. It benefits you stone cold for free. No cost. I will do it myself if needs be, if you allow me to do it and give me the ideas before their concept. And of course, number 3, a moderator system is also looking very positive. There's obviously some people who may get picked to a jerky, but ZeniMax will have entirely the right to remove them. It's your choice, ZeniMax, whether you do this or not. But right now, you can see no cost. It's free. It benefits the community and means you are doing what is benefiting the business as a whole and the game as a whole for the community. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will leave you here.